Hey y'all, get in here, hurry up, hurry up. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I set the live up earlier and messed up and ended it and did not mean to. Y'all forgive me for being slow. I was so mad at myself, I could have thrown my whole body to a wall. Y'all just not gonna understand. Y'all not gonna understand. I don't even know how I made a mistake like that. Get in here, please, y'all. Hit the like button for me. Help me out. Please hit the like button and help me. Thank you. Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing? I know we done already said happy Tuesday, but happy Tuesday evening. I'm glad y'all back. I'm glad y'all back. Come on in here. I don't know whether y'all had a chance to watch this quote unquote roundtable discussion. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but we got to talk about what was said, what was not said, the BS, the moderator that was there. I want to definitely talk about her. Who showed up, who did not show up, who was suspiciously absent. We're going to talk about all them things. So y'all just come on in, hit the like button, get comfortable because I can't stay too long because it's getting late. But we got to touch on this. We can't let that go. Y'all come on in, hit the like button. You know, that's how you help me out. Please share this video. So if anybody that you know might want to watch and take part in this conversation, or, even just if you think that might want to hear my big mouth, let them come on in, share the video, like this video. Okay, please. If it's your first time, please make sure you put FTL in the chat for first time live so we can welcome you because we are glad to have you here. We are. Hello, hello, hello. If I didn't get to talk to you earlier, hello. And if I did get to talk to you earlier, then welcome back. Y'all come on in here and hit the like button. Thumbs up this video, please. Child, I got to tell y'all something too. Oh, give me a minute. I'm going to greet everybody. Give me a minute, y'all. Baby, I got something to tell y'all. I got something to tell y'all. Let me do my thing. Watch how I do my thing. Give me 1 second. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Baby, let me tell you. It's something about these people that we got to have a talk about crazy people before we even get into this roundtable discussion. We got to have a little talk about crazy people. We do. We got to talk about them. So y'all come on in, hit the like button. I want to let a few more people slide up and through here before we have this conversation about crazy people. Let me greet who's in the chat first, okay? I'm so happy to see y'all. I am. I'm telling y'all, I was not planning to go live again today. The baby Peanut was watching this here. And she sent me the link. So I was like, well, let me go ahead on and watch it since the baby sent it to me because wasn't nothing else on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I got time. And then after I watched it, I said, oh, no, we got to talk about this. A conversation must be had, okay? So let me greet who's here. Y'all hit thumbs up this video. Please like this video. give us a thumb. Give us a thumb. And don't forget to use your engagement buttons on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Looks like a little bubble with an emoji in it. Send them bubbles up. Please let them people know y'all in here. Because they trying to play with y'all sister, okay? Bianca Edwards is to the porch, honey. She say, welcome, welcome. Get your liquor. Put your feet up. It's about that time. Nacho Twins mama is in the house, okay? I got 2 mods in first, so I know my chat finna be safe tonight. Dora, hey sis, how you doing? How you feeling? I know you had that Carnival 19. How you feeling? Ashley, hey Bookie. Ebso, hey girl. Okay, you back at it. You know that's how we do around here. Back at it. Hey Nona Perkins, how you doing, Bookie? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in, please. And thank you. Fresh strawberries. Hey girl. Listen, I know y'all was trying to figure out what happened. Nitra went live and the live just ended. Y'all, I messed up so bad and I couldn't even do nothing. Like, I wanted to throw the computer. I wanted to throw myself. I was like, how did you do that? That's such a rookie mistake. I haven't made a mistake like that, y'all, since I first started. I was so mad at myself. Hey, Ian, the court junkie, what's going down? Yes, honey, we have got to have a convo about the foolishness. Child, did y'all see the Nike Adidas that I posted on the community tab? Child, I seen it and I got so tickled. Hey, Edna Crowder. Yeah, girl, you did make 2 lives today. I'm so glad. Hey, happy to be happy, girl. We happy you made it. She's in the chat, y'all. She in the chat. Hey, Miss Nisi. How you doing? Okay, Stu S up in here. I know that's right. Not Catherine Bennett. Not my Catherine. She here too. Hey, girl. How you doing? All right. Rochelle. Hey, sis. How you doing? Yep, we back. Show is. Queen of Hearts KS. Hey, boo. How you doing, girl? There go Peanut. Listen, y'all better thank Peanut because I didn't even know it was on today. I thought it was coming on later in the week or something. So thanks to Peanut, I was able to see that, and that's why we here. Hey, Antoinette, how you doing, sis? Y'all come on in the room. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Glad you made it. All right. Y'all, please come on, hit the like button. You say you feeling good, Dora? That's good news. That's good news. I'm glad to hear it. So look, y'all come in, hit the like button, and let's have a little chat about crazy people. Just come on in, get comfortable. We're going to talk about this round table, but we're going to have a little chat about the crazies, okay? Because apparently crazy is live and well. Crazy is live and well. I ain't kidding. Crazy ain't take a day off. Crazy working overtime. Hey, Auntie Eva. Crazy's working overtime. Make sure y'all hit this like button, like this video, share this video, okay? And if it's your first time, welcome. But please put an FTL in the chat, even if you don't want to say too much. Throw an FTL in the chat so we can welcome you. Y'all know the rules on the porch. Everybody is free to agree, disagree, whatever. Make sure that you keep all your comments respectful to each other. We talking about the people on this screen, the issues that we talking about. No personal comments, please. Everybody should be respectful. Y'all know tongue and teeth fall out, but kinfolk don't, okay? Peanut in the chat, what you talking about, Sin City from NOLA? How you doing? So look, let's talk about crazy. Okay, I almost feel like Preacher Polly from Vampire in Brooklyn. Y'all remember Preacher Polly? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember Preacher Polly. I just want to see a 1 in the chat if y'all remember the illustrious Preacher Polly from Vampire in Brooklyn. Because I'm about to take y'all down a road like Preacher Polly, okay? He was talking about Jesus, but we're going to talk about crazy, okay? We're going to talk about crazy is as crazy does, okay? Crazy walk, crazy crossed over, crazy, ate tissue paper, crazy jumped off a building. Y'all remember Preacher Polly? Yes, okay? But we're going to talk about crazy this evening. Yes, we are, okay? And we're going to talk about necessary crazy. Because, see, crazy ain't never necessary, but there's some people who believe that it is. And I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. So I want y'all to know that little time that I had went live with that last setup that I had, and I messed up. Like, literally, ain't nobody do nothing to me. I messed up and hit the wrong button. I was so mad at myself because y'all know I be struggling to set them lives up. Y'all know I am not tech savvy. But let me tell you something. It wasn't nobody but Jesus. It wasn't nobody but Jesus, okay? So, as Preacher Paula would say, Jesus came and Jesus went, okay? Crazy came and crazy went, okay? Crazy talked and crazy crossed over. Y'all, crazy is in my replay comments on video before last, trying to argue with Bianca Edwards. And I know for a fact, crazy was crazy enough to go and try to report my last video before I ever said a word. Baby, that thing tickled me so bad. How you say that somebody is bullying in a video where a word ain't even been spoke? Did the music bully you crazy? Did the music bully you crazy? See, crazy people, listen, I'm not mad at crazy. I got crazy people in my family. Okay? I do. I know all kind of crazy folks. Sure do. But listen, by the time your crazy is so out of control that you trying to report videos that ain't nobody even talking on, that's when you need to take your crazy to the altar. Okay, I want you to leave it there. Okay, take your crazy to the Lord and leave it there, leave it there, leave it there, because something's wrong with you. Now, what I said in my earlier live, I mean it. And I'm going to say it again for record, for just for flavor. Let me tell you something. Anybody that I feel like is doing something that they ain't supposed to be doing, hey, Shannon, and I wants to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. And if you so sensitive about these rich folks that you don't know personally, that you can't stand to hear nobody criticize them or talk about them, then this might not be the right place. Don't come over here acting crazy. Because by the time I pay attention to you, then you're going to say Nitra's mean, Nitra bullying me. Hell, you already saying that. Stop that. Be normal. Be normal. Or be your version of normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can't control crazy. But be your version of normal. Don't just go all out like that. Don't just be jumping out like a jack in the box. Or prepare people for your crazy. Before you even start an exchange with folks, just say, hey, before we get started on this, you know I'm a little crazy. Let us know so we know what to do. Lord, Bianca says, stank heifer, can't fight with words, so she got to report people's stuff. She better take it to the Lord. Yeah, take it to the altar, leave it there. Cat then leave it here. Yeah, they out of control. Crazy as hell, because she ain't want nobody talking about Tamar messy tail. You don't want us to talk about Tamar being messy, tell Tamar to stop being messy, because as long as she do it, we're going to sure talk about it. As sure as I'm black, I'm going to talk about it. And last I checked, I'm good and black. Good, and you shouldn't want to know nobody blacker than me. Anybody blacker than me is probably scary. You don't want to see that. Okay? You might want to avoid that one. Now, that's just what that is. So now y'all come on, hit the like button, get comfortable. You know that's how you help me out. Ashley, congratulations on your 11th month royal anniversary, girl. That's right. She said almost a full year, laughter and love. That's how we do it over here, baby. That's how we do it. So listen, y'all. And so I watched the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they so-called round table. Make sure y'all please hit the like button as you come in. Please thumbs up this video. And so y'all know what I said earlier, and I still stand by that. I stand by that. I do. I felt as though then, and I feel the same now to a certain degree, it was performative, or it was definitely intended to be performative. I believe that in my heart. But I think somewhere along the line, something changed up, y'all. Something changed up. And it ended up not being quite as performative as some people would have liked. Okay? Now, if y'all seen the description of the video, I don't know whether you did or you didn't, because I don't know whether people be reading the descriptions or whatever. But let me tell you. Rochelle, congratulations on your 26th month royal anniversary, sis. I know that's right. You know I love you for real, for real. I love all y'all, but I love me some Rochelle. I do. I love you, I do. So listen. So somewhere along the line, things changed, in the way things were being presented. Now, I could already tell the way it was being posited, the way it was being positioned, and shout out to their moderator, a lady by the name of Dr. Sarah Webb. Okay, she belonged to some colorism situation, whatever. I don't know what the name of it is, and I don't want to mess it up. Y'all know I normally write notes, but I got distracted because my bladder is weak, and I had to run to the toilet, and so I missed the name of the group that she belongs to. But she's somebody who officially deals with, colorism issues within our community, different things like that. And so she was there to officiate or to moderate. And so when I seen her, I didn't know what to expect. You never know what to expect. I never saw her before. So I'm like, okay, so what is this about to be? What is this about to be? Because I really don't have any trust or faith in Mona Scott or MTV or any of that foolishness. I really didn't. And so I didn't know what to expect from this lady. I had never seen her before. My on first impression, I really just didn't know what to expect. I said, okay, pretty black lady. Okay, she looks real professional. I don't know which way this gonna go. Whether she gonna come with some, virtue signaling, respectability, raccoonish American responses and moderation. Like I just didn't know what to take from it. I really didn't. But she was absolutely a breath of fresh air. Let me start by saying that. I don't know her. I don't have any prior knowledge of that lady, but she was a breath of fresh air. So I definitely want to acknowledge that first and foremost. Evie says it was definitely meant to be performative, but the conversation actually wasn't ignorant. And I think it's because Black people are finally understanding that we have to stand together as a force. Okay. All right now. Listen, the hat went up. The hat was thrown in the air. The hat was thrown. Okay. Said she was much better than Mark. Oh, absolutely better than Mark Lamont Hill. And I have feelings about that. And I feel as though somebody like Mark Lamont Hill or most Black American men, can we just be real for a minute, cannot officiate such a conversation. Most of which cannot officiate such a conversation. They lack the depth and the empathy to officiate such a conversation. With one of them, like Mark Lamont Hill, officiating that conversation, it would have been full of dismissal, full of gaslighting, full of straw man arguments, pushback, instead of allowing people to express what they needed to express, and definitely would not have been keeping it on course and bringing things back to the actual topic. So before I even get into what I saw, the notes I took, I want to first and foremost say that Dr. Sarah Webb did a tremendous job, an admirable job, and just par excellence of keeping the conversation on course, keeping the conversation moving, dealing with things in an intelligent and informed manner. And I must say, I never saw that lady before in my life, but I was impressed by her, but it was just pleasant. It was pleasant to see her. It was pleasant to hear her speak. And it was pleasant to hear her intelligence. Because so many times, especially when it comes to reality TV and reality TV personalities, you do not get an intellectual conversation of any kind. Y'all know I love ignorance. I'm from ignorant Florida, not South Florida, not North Florida. I'm from ignorant Florida. So y'all know I enjoy ignorance as much as the next person. But I feel like there are certain conversations where ignorance just doesn't have a place. And this is one of those conversations. So y'all please hit the like button. We're going to get into it. Even say MTV ain't playing. They went and got an expert. They did. But normally when them other people call an expert, they are not usually careful to get someone who is going to be on point. They usually get somebody that's going to tap dance. And that's usually acceptable for our people, if we're going to tell the truth. A lot of our folks are perfectly okay and accept tap dancing, and some of them prefer tap dancing, and a whole lot of our own people are offended when the person who has such a platform is not tap dancing. Okay, can we tell the truth about that? Hey, Megan Roger, say my favorite quote was when Spice said the best part that I revealed the racist. Yep, but we're gonna get to that because that was way later. But thank you for being here, girl. I'm glad you paid attention because we ready. Bravo is never gonna do one. Bravo is a racist organization. That's why I'm praying for their downfall. Every time I hear their name, I say a little prayer under my breath for them for their downfall. I do. Yeah, this one, if I'm being honest, if I gotta rate it between 1 and 10, I'm gonna give it a 9.2. Um, well, actually, like maybe a 9.1, and that's only because of the length of time that it was given, and that in no way does that reflect on the host or moderator, or even the people participating. Okay, I'm side eyeing Jock a little bit, but you know what can we expect? But for the most part, I would only say a 9.1 only because of the time that was allotted for the conversation. Other than that, I really don't have a whole lot of, bad critiques for it. I really don't. Even some of the, and y'all forgive me, do y'all mind if I give an overview before I do the breakdown? I just want to give an overview. If y'all mind, let me know, and I'll shut my mouth and just get into the notes. But I'm paying attention to the chat. So if y'all say girl hush and tell us what happened, then I will. I respect that. But even when the conversation took some of the, it may have taken an ignorant turn here and there. And I don't mean ignorant as an insult. I mean as in, just a lack of understanding and the depth to have the conversation. I didn't even mind that because that is a part of our reality within our community. There's a lot of our people who lack the depth to even articulate or verbalize what goes on, how it affects them. Even when it affects them negatively, they know it didn't make them feel good, but sometimes they lack the ability to be able to articulate it, to put it into, in any meaningful way that somebody would be able to understand what they're trying to communicate. Okay. Shelly say, been listening to Black Hypocrisy by Spice. Trust me, she knew what Erica was about. She saw the signs. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, Nacho Twins, mama, and my sister on the phone said, let me give y'all the overview. So the overview, like I said, the conversation was on point. We had a moderator, Dr. Sarah Webb. She kept everything on point. She allowed them to elaborate at certain points. I think she did it, in my opinion, masterfully, because she allowed them to elaborate and buy into the conversation. And sometimes you have to do that, even when you're keeping things on point, even when you're staying on topic, you still have to allow people to elaborate to a certain degree so that they can buy into the conversation, become comfortable, and kind of establish that rapport with her. Because while they do have a rapport with each other, I think she did a great job in establishing the rapport with her and allowing them to feel comfortable and, to, like I said, buy into the conversation. It was interesting also during this one to kind of see the difference in how we view race within our own community in this country. Because y'all know I'm always saying Black people are not a monolith. We are not monolithic. Our cultures are so plentiful here. And it was interesting to see the difference in just even between an up north perspective versus a southern perspective of how we understand and how we view race relations. There was a certain part of the conversation where Yandy was talking from a New Yorker's point of view, where she was explaining how it was okay for them to hear Spanish folks or Latin folks use nigga. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that in the South. Like, you can get bopped in the mouth. We don't care nothing about that. If you ain't black, like black for real black, we might mess around and pop you, drag you or something. It might not be safe. You might not want to do that. And so even that got touched on. And the way she handled it, sis stayed, even when they kind of got to where it was a lot of talking, cross talking. I can't say anybody was talking over anyone else. I think that because they did buy into the conversation, they had true interest. We saw passionate viewpoints, nothing that was argumentative or adversarial, but it was just a lot of, they wanted to spill it all out. And sometimes that happens because we're not able to have these conversations not intelligently within our community. There's usually going to be 1 to 2 extremely ignorant, loud people that are going to shut down any intelligent discourse concerning race or colorism within our community because they lack the depth and they want you to just be quiet about it because they cannot participate or lend anything to that conversation. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. You will be at your granny and them house and y'all having a conversation. It's gonna be one ignorant cousin or ignorant uncle get loud. Man, they y'all go talking about that stuff. It don't matter about that. You know, that's usually what we get. So I think that when these types of situations, conversations present themselves, that, you know, people just spill. And that's what I think we saw a lot of with this one. If y'all go back and watch it, I think y'all gonna see the same thing. It's a whole lot of spilling. Like they ready to spill. Even say the moderator was loving and educated enough to provide depth when they didn't know how to verbalize what they were trying to say. Yes, she was. When I say she was excellent, I've never seen her before, but I would absolutely love to see that lady again. I really enjoyed her. Yandy was definitely on point. Scrappy surprisingly was on point, and he still brought comedy because that's who he is, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Jock up to a certain point, and then he pissed me off as per normal. Hey Rashika, as per normal. Ashley say real Latinas do not have that word in their vernacular, and you would be right because I grew up around a whole bunch of them, and they ain't never said that mess around us. So, you know, but I understand like different, but that's why I'm always saying like within this country, America is not like one state. That's why I laughed at Yule over there in Nigeria talking about he's selling real estate in America. Boy, ain't no America. It's state by state, and sometimes it's region by region, and even within states, sometimes it can be city by city, because the north end of a state might have a completely way of relating and living culturally than the southern part of that exact same state. So, you know, it was just interesting to see all of those things. Megan says, I'm not blaming the men, but it seems the men on that show hype up non-black women and make it seem as if they better. I wish there was a little more accountability. I mean, we could say that, but I don't think the issue is the show. I think the issue is black folks in general, because that part of the conversation came up too. Right, Evie. Yandy did make me like her a little bit more. Not by much, but a little bit more. You know, because the broken clock is right twice a day. Twice a day, that broke clock be right. Y'all, please like this video. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get into the notes and tell y'all what happened and give y'all my final thoughts. And I want to see some of y'all's thoughts too, but I ain't going to hold you too long. I ain't. But y'all share this video. Please like this video. Mods, can I get a like count? Because I took my time and took notes. So I'm going to need a like count. I need to know that y'all did right by me. Please and thank you. I need a like count. I do. I promise I do, because it's late night. Y'all ain't know I was coming back. It ain't even that many people in here. This should be a real simple operation. Please thumbs up this video. Bianca, Evie, one of y'all, give me a like count. So anywho, they started off with Rashida making a statement, because so she wasn't able to make it, but I did appreciate 48. Oh, hell no. So you mean to tell me that it's almost 20 people in here that don't love me enough to hit a like button? Really? Hey, Brian Ellison, how you doing, kinfolk? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. We gotta, you know, I'm gonna get all your comments. What's going on, Brian? So look, Rashida, even though she could not make it, she made it her business to make a statement and was basically, you know, not going along with what happened or whatever. And she stated, you know, where she stood on the issue, which I think that was cool. Personally, I think that was real cool. Y'all, please thumbs up this video. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Pretty please. So that was cool. Bambi, of course, was not there. She was suspiciously absent. And so was Shekinah. And if I'm going to tell y'all the truth, I'm not surprised. Not one little bit. I was not surprised. I was not taken aback. I was not given reason to pause. Like there was absolutely nothing. Hey, Leah, you hit the thumbs up on your laptop and your phone. Thank you. That's even worse, sis. That means somebody else really ain't doing me right. Leah done gave me 2. Y'all give me 1, please. So that was cool. Then we get to, you know, our lovely moderator, Dr. Sarah, I keep wanting to say Miss, but Dr. Sarah. And so she immediately, and I appreciate her doing this, outlined the difference between bias and prejudice versus racism and colorism. And I think that it was a very strategic thing to do. I think it was a very good move strategically, because before you even get into the conversation, clear up what's what. Because I think a lot of people, and she thought so too, and not just think, we know for a fact most of our folks do not know the difference. I will hear Black people, hey Nadine, I will hear Black folks say crazy stuff like calling other Black folks racist and all this stuff. It's just not possible. Because, I love that she broke down and explained to them that biases and prejudice are based on your beliefs and feelings and attitudes and actions. These are my actual social systems. Okay. So there has to be one group that has the power to impose a system and another group that does not. Black folks don't have the power to impose any social system on anybody else. We just don't. Not in this country. Like, let's not even pretend. So I like that she did that. She started talking about the fact that within those social systems, the group that imposes the social system has political, social, and economic power because of the system that has been set in place. And that's always the truth. And so y'all have heard me say more than once, I'm sure you heard other people say, that colorism is the little sister to racism, because it is. Colorism exists because of racism, not independently of. So literally what we're witnessing within our own community, and I realize before anybody else says it, because I don't know why Black folk do this, but we do. The minute we start talking about colorism in our community, we always got one person that want to run in, but they do it in India and Asia. We're not talking about them. I think let's let 2023 mark the date line that we stop worrying about other people's community. We got enough stuff to clean up over here without trying to talk about what other folk got going on. Within our community, the colorism that we witnessed was established not by our own folks, but it is upheld by our own folks, and it's based on a proximity or a perceived proximity to the oppressive group. So the oppressive group has established themselves as the superior group, the better group, the more desirable group. And so colorism is then imposed by the oppressive group and upheld by our own people because of their own inferiority and self-hate. Simple and plain. So I like that she dealt with that. Like, this lady made me so happy. And so she started at the basics to get them talking about their city. And I thought that was wonderful, and was talking about, Atlanta being considered the Mecca of Black culture, which it always has been. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, and talked about all the different things that was going on there. And, how did they feel about this happening, in a franchise in Atlanta, and what was their take on it? And so that was where I feel like she was getting them to loosen up. She got them to really loosen up and buy in, y'all. She did. This lady was really excellent. She was excellent. She really was. Y'all, please like this video. She was truly excellent. Got scrappy talking. We didn't even know the grandmama was a teacher. So I'm like, okay, so that's even worse. Your grandma, big mama's a teacher, and D went to child. We ain't gonna talk about D, but that was interesting. And said she was teaching over there at the predominantly clear school. Sierra was talking about things that she went through in school out there in Conyers, because they predominantly clear over there in Conyers too, in them areas like that, and was talking about the things that she dealt with, and how the school bus driver would drive past her and would just leave her. They would see her coming and just leave her. And I believe it, because those type of things happen. And she talked about how the Confederate flag be getting on her nerves. I don't know why. It don't bother me, but you can wave whatever flag you want. Just don't be mistreating folks. So, and that's when Dr. Sarah pointed out that, okay, the kind of thing that you're mentioning, Sierra, those are microaggressions. Those are actions that put you in a degrading position, but it's not the overt, where they just out and out saying stuff, Yes, the bus. The bus. Yes, Leah, the bus. That was very real. And it was actually, it's 11:11. If y'all in Central Time, better make a wish. But that was actually a very good thing that she brought up, because it led into the conversation about microaggressions. The bus driver didn't yell out the bus and call her a crispity crunchity crackety coon, but that bus driver absolutely did behave in such a way that it made her feel less than, oppressed, and degraded. And it matters, because when these school bus drivers, when the school teachers, the teachers' aides, the administrators at these schools, when they do these things, when they take these small actions and things like that, those things are indelibly imprinted on our children's minds. It affects them for the rest of their lives. It plants little seeds of inferiority. And in some children, it plants little seeds of anger that fester. So yes, that was a very good point. And that's why I'm telling y'all, this whole conversation, I gave it a 9.1 straight up. I only deducted points for time, because she was absolutely on point with that example. And I was glad she brought it out. And I saw how she kind of loosened up after she got that little bit off her chest. And then it was well received. And nobody brushed her off or dismissed her, like saying, girl, it's just the bus. Everybody was able to it. The lady that was moderating, who was very, again, I can't say it enough, so knowledgeable, so efficient in how she took care of this whole thing. Like, she received it, talked about it, and even helped Sierra to name it, because Sierra was able to talk about what happened, to just, verbalize, hey, I suffered microaggressions while I was a student in school out in Conyers. She wasn't able to put it that way because she just wasn't able to. And sometimes, everybody's not able to articulate things as well as other people. And so that's why it's good to have people like Dr. Sarah around, who is comfortable with these types of conversations, possibly has them on a more frequent basis based on, the work she does. And so she was able to guide that conversation where it needed to go. So again, 9.1. Like, I really want to give it a 9.5, but I got to take points for time. I feel like MTV could have dedicated 2 hours to this conversation. I really feel as though they could have dedicated 2 hours to this conversation. But overall, no complaints. Yandy starts talking about the whole, her coming from Harlem, which is another place that has a lot of Black history, which it does. Shout out to everybody in Harlem. That's a beautiful borough, beautiful people. And moving to Atlanta and wanting to set up her businesses and stuff, and was even talking about how when she sent in her clear employees to get the permits and stuff, everything moves smoother. And it's like, yeah, that's real. Sierra was talking about how they treat her at the bank, that they don't even give her no respect till they log into her account. Then when they see them numbers, then it's, oh, ma'am, Miss Gates, and that's real. Y'all know it. We all know it. Every one of us who has, managed to move past a certain place in life, those people do not respect you until they see why they have to. When in reality, that respect should just be given to everybody anyway, because you see, they give it to them other people, whether they, a bum on the street or somebody who got a nickel to their name. Miss Nisa, what you talking about? Who is Kenya? You might be in the wrong live, sis. I don't know. Check that out. But so that was interesting. They even touched on the fact that having money or making money or achieving a certain level of success does not save you or separate you from being a victim of racism or racial bias. Like, you don't escape it. Hey, Couture, baby, there go my baby. I'm sorry, I forgot to speak to my baby. How you doing, niece? You don't escape it based on your socioeconomic class. Like, it won't help you. It just won't. So Scrappy was talking about, he called it small city, big money. In a way, I get it. Because Houston is a lot like that too. Atlanta, definitely. I've lived in Atlanta too. I get exactly what he's saying. You get that small town, heavy small town Southern, action, even though it's supposed to be a big city, but the only thing big is the money that people make. So you got people that make big money, but them people still see you with that same small town attitude, mentality. They still view you through that lens. Hey, T Dollar. And so that was a good point. Sierra time my God gave her the platform, so she want to speak up on stuff. And I'm like, Lord, now that was kind of funny to me, in my opinion, because I'm like, I like Sierra. Y'all know I like me some Sierra. But Sierra, I don't know if God wants you speaking on this stuff too much, baby, because you got to go educate yourself first so you can actually talk about it. But I think that was a good place to start. And hearing her say that, at least maybe that means that she's going to go and immerse herself in some information so she will be able to hold that conversation and hold her own. And I think that's important because when you're a Black woman, people automatically want to dismiss what you say. So you have to be able intellectually to hold your own and keep people on point and not allow them to deviate or distract you talking about things that are not even a part of the conversation. And I mean, y'all seen it on the porch. We've had people try that over here. And the reality is the more you know about your subject matter, the better you are able to kind of navigate those conversations and keep it real. Okay. So that's what that was. Then we get Spice talking about her Black Hypocrisy song and how she's experienced both racism and colorism, and that that's what it was about, the fact that the hypocrisy within our own community. And I understood what she was doing at that time. Like, I can dig it. Y'all know I'm a Spice fan. I love her music. I love everything about Grace. I think she's beautiful. But I think that hypocrisy, I don't know if that's really the right word for what happens in our community. I think what happens in our community is a lot of people who have suffered trauma intra family, like within our own group and from our own people, and sometimes within our own nuclear families, to an extent that it gives you internalized anti-Blackness, and you can end up being against yourself and everything that looks like you. And I don't think that it falls under hypocrisy. I think it falls under damaged. But she talked about that, and that was cool. Jock then brought up an interesting point when he was saying he experienced it when he had pressed out his hair, and he was like, it was no different than what Miguel or Chris Brown did, but he got treated different and heckled different because he's got dark skin. And I can't remember whether him or Scrappy, I think Scrappy pointed out, like, yeah, because them lighter skinned people, they would, they felt like their hair automatically wasn't supposed to be, super kinky anyway, not no 4C hair. So for him being dark and having that hair pressed out, people went to picking. I don't know if that was really colorism, but I could see how he would take it that way. I think it was more or less, it could have been. It really could have been. Let me not say it wasn't. It could have been. It really could have been. It's something to think about. I think, to me, it was more the way that hair was styled than anything else. I think it was more the style. And Black men don't wear concolines no more. They used to wear concolines. My daddy wore a concoline one time. But people ain't wearing conks no more. Most of these children don't even know what a conch is. So I don't know whether that was, the best example, but I understood where he was trying to go. Sierra, again, post Sierra, but Sierra actually represents a group of us, because all these people belong to us, even if they come from different backgrounds or whatever. These are all our folks. I think Sierra more or less represent, a lot of our people that only understand things on the surface. And so she was thinking that older men don't really experience it as much because of relationship stuff, that women like dark men. And I don't think she was able to really get deeper at that point. I think this conversation really helped her to go deeper than the surface, because relationship issues has nothing to do with colorism. Having the opposite sex in your own ethnic group be attracted to someone who looks more so like their oppressor, that's just the surface. And so I did like the Yandy brought it back around and let her know, no, it affects them differently. It does not affect them so much within the group, but it does affect them when they relate to people who are not other Black folks, clear and clear adjacent people. And she talked about what happens with the police and jobs and situations where they can be perceived as a threat because their skin is darker. And I thought that was very intelligent. That was a very good thing to do. Yandy clearly had brushed up because she was ready. She was really ready. So the conversation, happened like that. And the host brought the conversation back to Erica Mena, which I was glad. She let them loosen up. She let them talk. She let them, verbally pop that popcorn a little bit, get them percolating, and brought it back to Mena. She played the clip and let them all watch that clip. Now, Yandy, after watching it, said it made her blood boil that this heifer's immersed in the culture, sleeping with Black men and calling Black folk monkeys. Amy Luciani said it made her skin crawl. Scrappy said that he went to talking about the human zoos, which is a very, very good point. I was absolutely impressed that Scrappy learned to read. Let me quit playing. But I was impressed that he said something intelligent. I ain't gonna lie, because that first live he did after Erica Mena got fired, they talked about that too, but we ain't got there yet. So he mentioned about the human zoos. Spice was talking about how that really affected her. The online ignorance that she got from ignorant Black people, our own folks, who was sitting up justifying this clear adjacent woman calling this beautiful Black woman a monkey, and how that affected her. And I really felt bad. I'm like, Lord, but we ain't got no control. We can't control crazy. We control stupid. Couture Bay said Yandy went to Erica to educate her and got trashed. Absolutely. They talked about that too. And they later on in the conversation, they did play the clip. They did. Yandy said when she first heard it, she heard it from Rashida, and they were trying to tell her that, Spice had triggered her, and that's what she had said. So I had to stop right there, y'all, because what we saw on the screen was Rashida and Kurt acting like, they stood 2 toes down. I could tell that Kurt was standing on business way more than Rashida, but Rashida act like, she wasn't going for it. But when she went and repeated it to Yandy said she told her that she made her upset and mentioned her son, and so she had went off trying to still justify it on the cool, but she making public statements like she been on cold the whole time. You wasn't. You was probably hoping this hoe was gonna slide. But that's neither here nor there. We ain't here for that. But I caught that. That's all I'm gonna say. I caught that. And so Yandy was like, she thought, well, maybe it could have been for a half a second. Then she said, but wait a minute. Even if she made you mad, why would you go straight to racism? Which is a valid question. So kudos to Yandy for using her brain cells, that tool between her 2 shoulders. So Jock was like, no, he wasn't never thinking it was justified. No type of a way. It wasn't possible. Jock was basically like, no excuses. You too immersed in our culture to not know the implication. You too immersed in our culture not to know the implication of the words that came out of your dirty latrine of a mouth. You knew what you were saying and the implications and the weight of it. And he said she can't be getting no convenient amnesia. Yeah, Yandy let that slip. I caught it. Your mama catch everything. I caught that. Oh, I caught that. Yes, God. And so then y'all, that ain't all. Then they kept going on past that, and Amy and Yandy mentioned about Scrappy's first live, when he first went live, and how wasn't nobody feeling that. Dr. Sarah played that clip, and Scrappy was like, look, I was drunk. I ain't mean nothing I said. I was drunk, and this is what had happened. I just wasn't I wasn't in my right mind. I didn't mean nothing I said. I said, boy, look at here. So he claimed he had not seen the clip yet. He said when he saw the clip, then he had a whole nother thing, to say about that. Yeah, Jock wasn't hearing none of it. No, he wasn't. He wasn't hearing none of it. But that's why, let me just say this, because I'm trying to keep it professional and not editorialize too much. However, that's why Scrappy should keep his mouth shut. Scrappy is typical. Like, you running off at the mouth, you didn't even get all the information yet. And you already running off at that lip. You got that gator open. Shut that gator. Well, he said it was the alcohol now. He said he was drunk, and he ain't mean nothing what he had said in that first live. So he did a second live and they showed that, and he said Erica Mena was wrong. And it was funny because that's Scrappy. Like, it was really funny to see like a whole 180. But he said he hadn't seen the clip yet, and once he seen the clip, that's when we got the second live. Erica Mena was wrong. Okay. Now Sierra said that that heifer said that from the gut. She did, because she was another one that was trying to find some type of way and doing mental gymnastics, try to figure out how she could have possibly not meant it that way, when in reality you said it with your full chest. Okay. And then Spice, spoke briefly on how dehumanizing it is to refer to a black person as a monkey. She, makes clear that Erica brought up her son and her parenting, and so she elaborated on the parenting. And then they played clips of Erica Mena mentioning Scrappy's parenting, and Scrappy asking, well, what about your son? And mentioning her parenting. And so, like Spice said, but you didn't get called a monkey, and I did. And it was clearly the color of her skin that made you feel emboldened to do that. And a lot of times they may have fetishes toward black men, but those ladies still feel that same way about black folks and will quickly take that aggression out and display it with black women, because we are not their targeted love interest. You understand what I'm saying? And so that was that. And Spice said she feel like the color of her skin is why people see her as the aggressor. And I believe that. And let's talk about it for a minute. If y'all don't mind, let's talk about it for a minute. Hold on, let me get a couple comments. Evie said, I was glad they brought up Sheen called Scrappy now. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Like there was, wasn't nothing there. Scrappy used his to drinking alcohol and talking. Yeah, that's true. But he came back and cleaned up where he messed up, and that's the best you can hope for somebody like Scrappy. But let's talk about this whole thing for a minute. See, this is the problem. A lot of our own people establish their personas and the way they present themselves based on a lot of these biases that we're taught. You will literally hear black children say, oh, I'm a savage, I'm a this, I'm gutter, I'm this. And they doing this stuff because this is what you've been told about yourself, that you aggressive, you are this, you are that. And so I think that a lot of that imagery, that perception, all of these tropes that are placed on our people based on complexion and proximity or lack thereof to clearness, that it affects not only the way we view ourselves, but the way we view other folks. Because there was a lot of people making it, oh, she's so mean. She's so aggressive. She's so this. No, hell no. Hell no. So I was definitely with her on that. I say I ain't gonna go off on too many tangents. I just want to bring it to y'all the way it happened. And then she said she feel like she won because she revealed a racist, because that's really what it was. That's who Erica Mena is. And now, the cover's been snatched off. She butt naked on Front Street, and there it is. Okay. And she was talking about how that term was used then, and I still say now, to justify racism against black folks. As long as you can dehumanize. And let me just say this. That word is what we're discussing. But now I'm going to branch out a little bit, and y'all bear with me, because I'm not taking the conversation away from black folks, because that's who we talking about. This black folk talking about black folk. Okay, we got some kin folks around. It may not be, but they're a part of this because they some kin to us. They're part of the royal family. But in the history of clear supremacy, they have done that in order to dehumanize a target. I can prove it to you. Y'all know I love proof, right? I can prove it to you. Now, when it came to our people, it was referring to us as 5/8 of a human, 5/8 of a man, a monkey. You got the human Zeus, anything to dehumanize the person or persons or group that you want to victimize, right? Then when you get to the Middle East, and they were, making up excuses to start wars with folks and killing these people. And I mean, they weren't just going after the army, they were hitting civilians. When you look at the news, they was calling them what? Insurgents. Because it was easier to say insurgents than to say civilians. It was easier to say insurgents than to say women and children. See, as long as there's a name or a title or something other than human, civilian, mothers, daughters, women, children, men, then you take away the human element. Therefore, it causes folks to be desensitized to the brutality and the atrocities that you're going to mete out against this group of people. Am I making any sense, y'all? Am I? Help me out. Let me know if I'm tripping. Because that's the way I see it. So I like that Spice was able to, articulate things as well as she could. I truly wish in my heart that, like I said, I just wish they had more time. So they really could have dealt with it. Okay, Rashika, thank you, cuz at least you know what I'm talking about. Everybody else ain't talking to me, but at least I can count on my first cousin, Rashika. I can count on Shika. So that happened. So then Yandy then went deeper into the conversation, talking about the point of no return over there in Ghana and those slave dungeons, and that was just, it was graphic, but it was necessary. I think that sometimes people want us to just move past that. Mind you, 9/11, never forget. But when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery as a whole, the Middle Passage and all the atrocities associated with it and everything that's happened since, it's just moved past it. No. I don't know how you move past such a thing. She even got into the graphicness of how they were fed and how they were having to step on each other in order to eat, and the term crabs in a barrel, and how it fits that, and a lot of the other terms that are used toward us, and some of the terms that we use toward each other, because we've heard them so much and we just assume that it's okay to say such things without even understanding the implications. Even say all I think about is Cat Williams with insurgents, but they always try to diminish their violent acts. Absolutely. Now they want to be down there in my home state saying slavery was just, that it was benefits. It was benefits. It was just an unpleasant working situation, and you got benefits from it. But that's kind of par for the course. We know who we're talking about. And so Jock say he went to one over in Calabar. Calabar, in case y'all don't know, is in Niger. Still West Africa though. Still West Africa. Anywho, then Amy talks about things that she experienced, from folks about her nieces, and how other Black folks will walk up and be going on and on about how the mixed nieces is attractive and just overlook the other ones, and it's talking about the colorism aspect of it. I said, okay, that's interesting. I was glad she had some input, and she actually did make a very good point. And then Yandy made a very good point. In case somebody wanted to circle the block and say, well, she Hispanic and so, or Latin X, or I don't know what the terms are. Listen, I'm old and I'm tired. But whatever the new term is, and say, well, they be around us, so they use our slang. And I was glad that she touched on the fact that that has never been something that was used, even up north. And Sierra, and I was glad Sierra and Scrappy chimed in and let her know, baby, in the South, that ain't never okay. You don't do that. When I moved over to Texas, I had to let them know, I don't care how cool you are. You don't say that in front of me. Because Black folks over there in Texas was allowing them people to be calling them niggas and talking about, ooh, I gotta go home to my nig. Like, baby, not around me. Don't do that. I'm from the South. This finna go wrong. Don't do that. So I like that Sierra and Scrappy brought in their experience and their environment. The environment that we raised in the South is different than up north. But I did like that Yandy pointed out, like, even when that is allowed or people are not as incensed, it's never been monkey. It's never been, what up, my monkey? Like, it ain't never been that. So it sounded funny to hear her say that. But it was real, so I was glad she touched on it. I really wasn't mad with nobody on that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, Etna. Yes, them people get rid of you. They mentioned that too. So, okay. So then they went talking about how people would use the term Black as an insult. which is also very, very inflammatory, and it's violent. Verbally, it's just violent. Rashika said, I experienced so much, you know what, dealing with the people that look like me is sickening. They come from my throat, but silence is abound when the actual owner is there to greet them. Well, that's how it is. You were talking about people who are damaged and broken, not an excuse, but damaged and broken, and they have been socialized to fear and respect the people who are actually victimizing them, but to attack their own folks. So you got to recognize, even though now you got clear people talking about woke this, woke that, but you know, that's not that to me, that ain't no shock either. Any phrase that we coin, they try to gentrify it, like them nasty collard greens that year. Okay. But when you are actually aware of things, you're not going to do that. But you got to remember, a lot of our folks are still very much so sleep. They sleeping beauties. They real live sleeping beauties. No, that ain't what she put a gorilla for OG, but we talking about this him right now. We got to stay on one thing at a time because this conversation was a lot. Yeah. Yes, Evie. Ain't nobody saying come get a drink with me, my primate. Ain't nobody saying that. Not a soul. And you know your mama love gorillas. I call myself the gorilla. But ain't nobody ever said, what up, my gorilla? Like, nobody does that. Tamika said my daughter was actually called a monkey at school in Phoenix. I had to address it with the school. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very true. Brian says, ironically, during slavery, clear women would make a black woman breastfeed their children, and the men would, you know what, use GRAPE next time, like grape soda. The men, but we monkeys, they are crazy and evil. But not just crazy and evil. That just goes to show that when y'all start telling us, oh, this person can't be racist because they got a black wife or a black husband or some mixed children, miss me with that, because it never stopped them. It never stopped them from going to the slave quarters. It never stopped them. It never stopped those men from grape soda and those female slaves and making mulatto children, mixed churn, whatever term you want to use, and selling them off. Like, it never ever prevented any of those things from happening. Not ever. So, like, don't let people play in y'all face with that. So they talked about the black thing, and Spice was like, you know, black don't hurt her. And, you know, she's always experienced that. And she was a child, they used to call her Blackie. And even now they be like, oh, you pretty for a black lady and whatever. And one thing about it, I feel like black is a compliment. And I think it's a state of mind. And I think you have to start in your home socializing your children that black is a compliment. My daughters have heard all their lives, little black girl. Hey, little black girl, come here. And it was never anything ugly, because I did not personally want my daughters to grow up and somebody call them black and they feel no type of way. I wanted them to smile and wink at you if you said it. When Peanut was in elementary school, it was a little Mexican boy. He was from actual Mexico, not like what they be calling Cardi, because that's just mean and nasty. But either way, and he said something about her hair, and she was like, I'm black, it's supposed to be nappy. I said, woo, 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 give it to him. But that only happens when you socialize them at home, that everything about them is absolutely fearfully and wonderfully made. It has to be done that way. And when you do not do it that way, then people have more power over your children with their ignorance. Okay. Now that's just what that is. I'm just telling it like it is. I've always called mine little black girl. Come here, little black girl. And they knew it was a term of endearment. It was never, oh, I'm black. It was never, you know what I'm saying? So we have to socialize our children different in our homes. We have more power than we give ourselves credit for. Okay, what you speaking to your children, that's who they're gonna be. Okay. Then Yandy went to talk to Child. Yandy was on one, child. She really was. And she said the same thing I said, just because they laying up with somebody or got some mixed churn don't mean they ain't racist. She went to speaking on the fetishes, how they fetishize partners, how they fetishize black culture in this country, them tanning and stuff, trying to, you know, appropriate and all this and that. And then here comes Jock. This is why I say Jock almost got it right. And he had to revert and default to ignorant Negro talking points. I say, boy, look at here. But then again, that was necessary too, because somebody needed to smack it down. Somebody needed to smack it and spike the ball in his face. Somebody need to spike the ball in his face with this one, talking about something. But what about the hair? When y'all wear the hair, the straight hair, and I'm sitting there like, Negro, are you serious? And so they was like, do you realize that black women were not even able to get jobs and being told that they natural hair is unprofessional? This ignorant nig talking about, is it still that way? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, right now, Dr. Candace Matthews is fighting Briar Hill Independent School District right now in the state of Texas because they are trying to make this young black boy cut his locks. Are you serious? They got a whole Crown Act. They had to make legislation to try to stop white folks from discriminating against black people in their hair. Not to mention the fact, okay, Rashika, I ain't to that point yet, but I see you, boo. Not to mention the fact that ladies were being told you can't wear your hair in the office. This is an office, so you have to be professional. So their natural hair was deemed unprofessional. Not even the historical aspect, the fact that we became people that it became a part of our history and cultural experience in this country to straighten the hair. Shout out to Madam C.J. Walker. The hot combs and the concolines and whatnot. They wouldn't have never been playing around with no lie or hot comb had it not been for the fact that their hair was deemed inappropriate and unacceptable. So that became a part of our culture here. So for him or any ignorant Negro to try to spin the block and say, oh, you doing that because you want to be them. No, honey, we're doing that because this is what we've done here. Traditionally, over time, this is a part of our footprint in this place. It is a part of our story in this place as much as the cotton fields and the tobacco fields and the rice plantations. So I was disgusted by Jock, but I wasn't surprised because Jock disgusts me on a regular basis. He is a poster child for why any black girl shouldn't bring home nothing like that to their mama. It was disgusting. Disgusting. And historically speaking, before we ever got to the hot combs and the concolines and the relaxers and whatnot, this idiot he wasn't even intelligent enough to recognize that before we got that far, there was a time in this place where it was illegal. They literally made it illegal for a black woman to show her hair. She had to wrap it up or not. So for him to say something that ignorant, I could have ripped his throat out. But he is the poster child for everything that I despise in these niggas. Everything I despise in them. I was pissed. I was pissed, but it was worthwhile because them sisters got him together, baby. They gathered him like a ponytail with that black gel. They gathered him. And then went to trying to talk about the makeup because y'all be contouring y'all noses to try to look like them people. And Spice was like, child, whatever, and was talking about the attacks that they get from other black folks, and if she shows up with her actual hair, black people gonna be the first ones to attack her. And then you got black men, not even men, because Jock ain't no man, but black males like Jocille, who will sit up and try to use a false equivalence. And I was glad that they pointed out to this ignorant raccoonish American that you cannot compare someone who has been socialized and traumatized into altering their natural appearance to just be deemed as acceptable as the same thing as someone who co-opts the entire look and aesthetic of another woman while claiming they are the creators. That's apples and oranges. It was insulting, it was disgusting, and it was on brand for Jock. Absolutely on brand for Jock. Disgusting. So let me rephrase. Why they wearing lace front wigs with the baby hairs, they copying them. Yes, absolutely copying black women. They don't even understand what that was about. Back in the day, the girls that had baby hair slicked down was the ghetto girls. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Those were them girls who didn't have no edges, though they didn't have no hair, so they would try to slick it down because it wasn't enough to go into the ponytail. See, when I was a girl, it was a flex when all your hair, front and back, could go in that ponytail and not one piece of hair fell. That was the flex. Okay? So not only are they imitating black women, they're imitating a certain demographic of black women. They don't even know the historical context behind any of the things that's going on. They talked about the lips and stuff, but I'm like, child, the hair, the lips, the tanning, the booties, the everything. Like, to me, it's comical. You literally over there in a Build-A-Bear workshop trying to look like women that you want to tell yourself that you're superior to. And I'm glad that they pointed out the fact, even little Amy, she held her own and let him know, don't be talking about they imitating them women. They looking like other black women. So you don't get to say, because these sisters are getting lip fillers and stuff like that, they not getting lip fillers to look like Karen. They getting lip fillers to look like Keisha, like they said, and I agree. But I think it comes to a point, y'all know how you alone your cousin, your Walkman, y'all children don't know about a Walkman. And then they keep it so long, when you get it, you got to borrow it back. And I think that's what we're seeing with non-black women. They have borrowed so much of our aesthetic that when we look like ourselves, they claim, ooh, they copying us. No, ho, you copied me. You copying me. I ain't borrowing nothing from you. I already had this, baby. I already had this. Y'all just been riding our jock so long you thought it was yours. It ain't. It ain't. But moving right along, because Jock pissed me off, y'all. And then went to talking about, oh, but you know that if they seeing, light skin or foreign women in the videos and stuff, and then y'all try to look like them, it's like, Nick, just shut up. But either way, they got them together. He pissed me off though. It was definitely on point for Jock, because that's who he is. Ignorant, lackluster, and dusty as hell. But he was on point when it came to Erica Mena, because he wasn't giving her no way out. So then Sarah went to talking about the blurred lines between the Latin culture and black folks here in America. And so then she went to breaking down race and ethnicity, which I thought that was very intelligent. And I was very glad that she did that, because folks keep getting that thing misconstrued, and it don't need to be misconstrued. It don't. Okay. So, she talked about how race is based on ancestry and phenotype, and ethnicity is more about your culture, your cultural background. That's what your ethnic group is based on. And so then Yandy was talking about that some of them opt out of blackness. If they light enough and they can opt out, they opt out. And was talking about the fact that sometimes they opt out because there's more benefits to not being black if you can be more ambiguous. And that was a good point. Sarah talks about, media and music and how that had an influence on it. It was a good conversation. Scrappy mentioned that it's some changes now to a certain degree. Spice even jumped in and was talking about how some of the light-skinned girls feel like they get treated lighter complected black women. And so Spice was like, well, they get colorism. And I was glad that Miss Sarah brought that thing full circle and made it clear. No, they are not experiencing colorism, but they are experiencing prejudice, which is true based on the definition. But that is a very real thing. And I think it gets overlooked because of the blaring mistreatment that our darker sisters get. I think sometimes we do overlook the prejudice and the biases that our lighter complected sisters suffer. So, in order to talk about one, we really should be able to talk about the entirety of a thing. Okay? We got to be able to talk about the entirety of a thing. Now, so that was a good part of the conversation. Amy had to leave, but before she left, she saluted Spice and told her, look, if one of us get attacked, we all get attacked. She showed her love, gave her a hug. I appreciated that. Yandy tried to, was talking about how she tried to talk to Erica. They played the clip, and you could see Erica just yelling over her, wouldn't listen. Yandy trying to explain to her, like, I was offended, and you offended an entire group of people. This heifer yelling over her, wouldn't let her get a word out. Talking about, you want to be offended. You guys want to be offended. And you could just see she was not even in a position to hear what she did wrong. She just was trying to find a way to push it off on Spice. Well, I mean, I was wrong, but let me see if I can find a way to blame my wrong on the black girl. No, baby. So Yandy was talking about that moment, how she hated how it went, and and basically was like, The fact that she said it, like that, and said that she at first was like, well, she went into the conversation thinking maybe she had some kind of implicit bias and it wasn't just overt blatant racism. And she was like, until the heifer said she'll do it again. And I'm like, okay. And Sierra was sitting up here, post Sierra. Y'all know I like her, but we know what we working with there. She talking about, you do something, you just need to say you sorry. And Yanda was like, no, don't nobody need no performative apologies. And I totally agree. A performative apology is not what's needed in a situation like that, because nobody's going to believe your apology. Hell, you don't even believe it. You don't. You full of crap. And Sarah asked Spice, did she apologize to you? Do you want an apology from her? And Spice was like, no, I wouldn't believe no apology from her. And she basically said, like, I talked about her parenting. I can say I'm accountable for talking about her parenting. But what the hell you mean? Everybody talk about them people parenting on that show. It's a bunch of deadbeats on that show, male and female. There are. And she said, but you can't trigger somebody to be no racist. And that's the facts. And Scrappy was like, hell, she still ain't apologized to Spice, which she didn't. And y'all know I pointed that out from the beginning. She never did apologize to Spice because she didn't mean that she was sorry for that. That's who she is. And so Yanda was like, when it came to, them other people that you can't say nothing about, them people got mad with Kanye. She was like, if it had been them people got mad with Kanye, she'd have been fired immediately. So I feel like Yanda was pouring a little hot sauce. I don't know whether that was Louisiana or Texas Pete or Grandma Pepper sauce, but she poured a little hot sauce. In my opinion, I feel like she was letting them know, y'all should have fired that hoe off the rip, and you didn't. And so I was kind of glad that she put it out there that had it been them other people, that she'd have been immediately fired. Immediately. Let her call them that K word that you can't say. Out of here, buddy. You'd have been out of here, buddy Road. That'd have been the end of that. And so they goes on, and they went to talking about the colorism part of it as it pertained to Spice. And they said, like, during this finale that her and Carly Red finally had a blow up, and how people was online saying all kind of stuff about Spice, when in reality Carly really been a trip lately. I don't know what's wrong with Carly, but she was talking about the fact that she feel like people, the commenters on social media, and y'all know sometimes them social media people are just so nasty with their ignorance, and how they sitting up blaming Spice and, oh, she's so mean, she angry, blase, squaze. And y'all know how that go. And she said it's definitely due to her color, because it ain't no other reason for them to be reacting that way. And I think part of it too, if I'm gonna be honest, I think part of that is because they're still angry because the precious clear adjacent girl got in trouble for being racist to her. So they want to punitively punish Spice for holding that, holding the line. Rashika say this live got me and my husband in conversation and I'm loving it. I know that's right. Tell my brother-in-law I said what's up. Hey, Vet. And so that happened. And thank you, Megan. And so, Yanda was like, look, that it's been lighter folks on this platform and other platforms that have jumped on the whole cast, did all type of stuff, and nobody, absolutely nobody called them aggressive, angry women, none of that. But it's something they do to the black women, and it's true. Now, this last point, let me put the StreamYard out so I can get y'all's opinions real quick, because like I said, I can't stay long. But this last point that Spice made before they kind of gave their final thoughts and wrap, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, this affected me. It affected me, and it made me feel so bad. Oh, my God. Because Yandy was like, basically telling Spice before she said what she had to say. Oh, yeah, Yandy was absolutely not for the mess. Not for the mess. Hey, Quiet Storm 87. Yeah, we here for a minute, baby. And she was like, I've seen you more aggressive than you've been in the past. I know you're going through stuff, but I would never just call you or address you or label you some angry black woman or aggressive. Like, that's not cool. And so Spice was like, she basically, I have been more aggressive. I've been going through a lot of things. And, she had a traumatic experience. The girl almost lost her life. And she's talking about how, like, when it came to Carly, like the fact that she's always getting hurt and betrayed by people. And she was like, when she said, y'all forgive me for this, but it really made me feel some type of way. My child can tell you her mama's not no emotional lady. but that one kind of made me feel kind of emotional a little bit. Like it, it pricked my black little heart. It really did. Because she was like, she wants to be accountable for being angry and hurt, and she gonna work on it and try to heal. And I was sitting there like, wait just a goddamn minute. As strong as Spice is, she still got this thing where she feel like she need to be accountable for being angry because she hurt. Girl, it don't matter that when people are being hurt, and if someone hurts you or betrays you, it is a normal response to be angry. The fact that black women in 2023 still have to feel the need to make apologies and take quote unquote accountability for having a normal human response to mistreatment, that thing did something to my chest. Oh my God. Like, y'all, it's affecting me now talking about it. And talking about it, I'm gonna work on it and I'm gonna heal. What the hell? Girl, if somebody hurt you, you got a right to be angry. If you step on my toe, I have a right to say ouch. I'm not going to apologize for being loud and saying ouch. If I'm disappointed, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm not going to apologize for having normal human emotions. And that's literally the position that this sister has been put in. Not that part, not even by Skeletor's little dingy pale tail, but by other black folks that's attacking her online. She is apologizing for having human emotions. The dehumanization of black women is disgusting, and it is so rank that the stench has reached the heavens. On no day of the week, in no way, shape, form, or fashion, should a sister have to apologize for having emotions or displaying them. That is disgusting. They did it to Nene. They doing it to her. Hell, it's been done to me in the past. I'm just a different type of Negro. But it offends and is hurtful to watch any of our sisters have to, and I saw her become emotional and have to apologize for being human. That's too much. That is too much. They've taken too much when it gets to that point. Other women can go through things, near-death experiences, been mistreated, and they can act like whole jackabooties. And everybody, well, she's going through a lot. And you can haul off and shoot a black woman. Shout out to Meg the Stallion. And then you are still the victim because you don't just suffer in silence like we want you to. Don't you dare have an emotional response to the things, to the negative stimuli around you. We are human. Every day we're being told to take care of black men's feelings because these niggas so sensitive these days. But when it comes to a black woman, we can't even have feelings. Me sitting up there watching that girl during the apologizing for being human, y'all, that broke my heart. That was so hurtful. Hey, Rashika, what you got on? You've been telling me all night you want to tell me something. Now, what you got to tell me, sis?
Hey, family. And hey, sister.
All right, let it rip. I know you got something to say.
Listen, let me tell you something about these trawlers, scallywags, uh, pistol toting ass. Oh, my bad. I didn't want to cuss.
Listen, if you cuss, it's okay. I ain't got to do it, but you help yourself.
I'm so tired of Glock. I'm so tired of Gloctavius. I'm so tired of Stab Nisha.
Oh,
I'm tired of Swing Nasha. I'm tired. I'm over it. Like I'm literally over it. Like sitting up here and like you really saying a word, and I'm just loving the comments in the chat because we on the same accord. Like, bro, like why? What? I got a question, y'all. And if y'all know the answer, y'all help me out because I've been taught that if you don't know something, you ask something and you ask it.
Yes.
I got a question. What the hell is the beef with black women? What the hell did we do?
We exist.
I literally, when I got home from work and I caught you on live and I got in the chat, like I literally work around folk lot of different folk, but it's usually folk that look like me.
Right.
Okay. I don't have no issue. Not saying it's not there. They just know I'm gonna check them. And also when
Right.
they do it, they know they're gonna get checked too. But people that look like me just don't even have that afterthought. They are so uncouth.
Mm-hmm.
They have issue with boundaries.
Yep.
They come into somewhere and they attack someone that's doing something for you.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. This thing, Skeletor, aka dried up, aka get her
Crayfish.
lotion 50 cc's of lotion
Mm-hmm.
stack.
Yeah, Erica.
I'm sick of her.
Me too.
Everybody's so shocked and appalled. She been doing this. Go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back.
You right.
Go back to the earlier days. She done been saying stuff like this.
Oh yeah. You
But now
know what?
she,
I
but
think she
see,
missed it
but
that day.
now
I
she
was
got these,
showing.
but
Was
now
a
she
young.
got these old people with this minstrel show, this chitless circuit shit that they pushing,
Yeah.
and we supposed to stand idly by
And pretend like we don't see it, girl.
and like we don't see it.
That's what they want us to do, girl.
We not doing that, and I'm not doing that. Like I don't pretend I don't see your face, baby. I saw it. Did you see it?
I seen it.
I don't tell my baby she's like she cut a roast on that bitch. I'm just saying. I am not.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You saying that heifer face is hard and sharp as a bowie knife?
Listen. Don't steal sharpen steel.
Boy, look, you mean to tell me we could use that heifer face to sharpen a blade? We can
Don't
sharpen
you mean that we can use her face to sharpen every number 2 pencil to help our kids pass these tests?
Boy, all the standardized tests, huh?
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, cuz. Don't play with me. Now you know you brought me up here for a reason. And I know what
you
you're doing.
already know.
You know, want to try to make it seem like you want now on the morrow, you caught that. On the morrow, you can blame it on me. Like that was my cousin Rashika. She was just out here just
I don't know what was going on with you.
I don't know what was like. I'm so sick of these people now. Like it's listen, I'm finna listen, chat, and listen, family. I'm finna give y'all an example about my people that look like me.
There you go.
When y'all go to Winn-Dixie, Walmart, Target, right? All these stores, right? Mm-hmm. When you ring your items up, don't it come up the price and then the tax and you just pay it and you move on?
Yeah.
No, not in my store. Hell no.
What they do?
It's blasphemy. If I ring up some tax and I'm in full-blown arguments with grown men and grown women and tribes of children behind them. Like, bro, y'all the only people that y'all to go get Jordan $300 for some shoes. And I got a small business and I tell you I need $20 for my stuff. You'll haggle me down.
Yeah.
But won't say nothing to these people.
Girl, I done been there, done that.
This is why things are weighted the way this goes back to can we even call her that? Is her name Erica Mena
Child Skeletor?
Erica Ben Had or Scallywag or Trollop or Slut Bucket or whore, shrimp.
Yeah, old crayfish.
This goes back to that. The way they treat this thing. This the way they treat this thing. Like it's like, oh, fake outrage, performative thing. Like, are we gonna do? No, we're tired. We're tired.
That's right.
We see you.
Yeah, we tired.
We tired because, like you said, I like what you said earlier in the earlier. Like, no, we ain't gonna just chop it up to old black money. No, black women's money.
That's right.
Cause let's call a thing.
That's who's spending the money.
Let's call a thing because we be shopping. We like. I tell my woman all the time, y'all talk about your bro, but you gotta pay subscription to this and that, and you got stuff coming.
Oh, we spend that bread.
They gonna spend that bread. We gonna spend that money, and it's like
Sis, we be
Black,
spending money. Sometimes we don't even know where the money come from. We be like, dang,
we don't know.
I
We
ain't
be sleep. Listen, have you spend money in your sleep? Have you ever woke up and said,
know. Ooh,
"Go ahead"?
girl. Listen,
We
I
are
tried
the
to tell
most.
Peanut.
We are the
I
most
told Peanut though,
unprotected. We are the
and
most
brawl over there,
unprotected, disrespected
and this, yeah,
on this earth. But
that's real. But
everybody
I,
want us
but
to
I told
protect them.
Peanut. I told Peanut the other day. I say
That's my
something
mama
happened after
name.
Cinco. That's what I call my baby Peanut. I told my
That's what my
Peanut the
mama
other
name is.
day.
Child, I knew it was related. Child, I knew. I knew it.
Okay. I told her, I say, look, something happened after Cinco de Negro over there in Montgomery. After that
Wait,
hat went
what?
up, I call that Cinco de Negro. I'm trying to see if we can organize us a picnic on August 5th. We all us
I
need to be
think
in Montgomery to celebrate. Because
my
after that
second
hat went up, in the air,
y'all. So you
we
ain't
ain't
see
really
that. So you
taking,
ain't see
we
that he
ain't
got
really taking,
charged and locked up, but they not charging them. They not charging them
but
clean people with
I know, but
nothing.
listen, my thing is that it's certain moments in black. Okay, people say
Mm-hmm.
black history. I just call it in black. There are
Right,
certain
because we
moments
are
in black.
history.
There are certain moments in black that are like turning points. I feel like something happened on Cinco de Negro, and we not taking stuff the same way we used to no more.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we got to grab a folding chair, but I'm just saying that we ain't above it.
I'm not saying that we don't have to grab a phone chair.
Yeah, I mean, we may not have to, but I just want to be clear that we ain't
No,
above it.
what I'm saying, don't count that out.
Yeah,
I mean,
we saying the
so
same
y'all
thing
didn't
in
see how,
different
so
ways.
y'all don't see how
We
Walmart,
not above it.
so
We
y'all don't
not
see how
above it.
Walmart selling the folding chairs like right in the front. So y'all don't see that.
Girl, listen, not only that, Amazon had a 10-pack of folding chairs. I was on Instagram and they was advertising them. I say, boy, Amazon think they funny. But that's why I say, even if we don't have to, at this point, we not above it. It
Right.
ain't nothing to say that we won't have one.
You know what? Because I'm gonna
And
say that
tell
you
you to have
absolutely
one.
right. Because I feel like
We'll
it's
offer
some
you a key.
things that is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you quick, it's not beyond me. It's not below me.
Right.
To get right with you,
Amen.
to see where them hands at. You know what I'm saying? Because my hands is always working. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I'm all state.
Mm-hmm.
And are you in good hands?
You're in good
Because I know
hands.
I am. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
Like,
right.
you know, I'm not really mad about the movement right now. You can get upset and feel a way about the minstrel show and the shucking jiving and the raccoonish civilization that we deal with um here. But all of it I feel like is to be a lesson to show you where people are. Show you where
Yeah.
they're at. You
Did you get a
know,
chance to watch the show yet? Have you seen it yet?
talking about with them, talking about the round table.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch it yet?
Hold on. Let me get my throat clear. And if I okay, y'all can finish that shit.
Okay. But I watched it. That's why I came up here, because in all honesty, it was a good conversation. I think even like the ignorant stuff from Jock, it needed to be said, because you just know it's about 2012 between 12.5 to 28% of Negroes that had something just that ignorant to say, and so they
But
needed
this is
to
what I'm
hear.
saying.
And
Why was he there?
hold
Why was
on,
he there?
because he's a part of the show and he needed to be there.
Oh,
And
because he's
so
a part of the population because he has seeded.
no, he's a part of that show. He had something to say, and that literally was the only ignorant portion from him that tonight. But
Well,
my
leave it
point,
to them.
my point is this: it needed to be said so that it could be corrected intelligently on a national stage. It needed to happen. Every bit of that needed to happen. Sierra not understanding that colorism for men goes deeper than their romantic partners needed to happen. The
Right.
fact that she didn't know to coin what that bus driver did to her as microaggression, and having Dr. Sarah Webb, shout out to her again, I can't thank that lady enough, having her be there to actually put a name to it and make it clear, that needed to happen. And to be honest, Jock was really on code up until that point. The ignorance just had to ooze out of him at some point, because that's who he is. But he was on point when they went to talking about, well, maybe she didn't know. Jock was like, hell no, you knew. You ain't gonna be that immersed in our culture and you don't know the
I
gravity of
know
that word.
that's
You know
right.
exactly what the hell. That's why I said no, he needed to be there. Everybody who was there needed to be there. The only people that was suspicious to me, it was suspicious that Gums was missing, and it was suspicious that Shekinah was missing. Now I understand why both of them was missing because both of them full of crap. Y'all know Shekinah is raccoonish on her mama them side,
I
her
mean,
daddy's
you
side.
kind of
One
want
of
to
the
cry
two.
over Louis Vuitton. You talking about that one? You
They
kind of
cried over Gucci. And then you got Gums. You know, Gums can't stay on code for
they
nothing. She'll
were
go.
some.
Gums will go to jail for somebody who called black folks monkeys. So there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, her gums, they were some. I
Mm-hmm.
said that earlier. They worry me. They bother me, and they don't sit right with my spirit.
Girl, them gums don't sit right
Them
no way.
gums don't sit right with her own teeth. So
Girl, them
how
gums
could they sit
don't
right with
sit right with
anybody's spirit?
nobody, not even in her
Because
own
don't get
mouth.
me up here and get the ranking on people. And for
I
those
ain't
y'all
tell
don't
you
know,
to do that. I ain't tell you to do that. Sheik, I just ain't stop you.
I'm just
See?
saying though, for those in the chat don't know what ranking is, I'm from Duval, Florida.
Girl, they know
Ranking
what it
is
is. They know
ranking
what
is
it
when
is.
you roast somebody or joke somebody, and don't do me like that because one thing about them gums, okay, okay,
Ooh.
Bambi, okay, you and those gums,
Gum on, gum on, gum on, gum
right?
on. Yeah.
37 plus what, baby? Them gums tell your business, baby. The gums gonna tell it. The
No, but
gums
see,
have it.
I think what's going on is every time she lie, them gums protrude another
They
centimeter.
recede further.
They push out further out of
Yeah,
her
and
mouth.
it make her teeth look longer when in actuality, bro.
It's all gum. It's all gum. It ain't
It's
the
all
teeth.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gone.
That's why I call her Gums child. Gums was
Like,
absent and Shekinah was
listen here,
absent.
Gumby.
But I'm gonna say this. It's actually
I'm gonna
good
say
that,
this.
but hold on. It's good that Shekinah was absent because Shekinah is extremely ignorant and loud, and she would have tried to take over the conversation with her ignorance.
And not knowing a goddamn thing what she was talking about.
But because Shekinah is raccoonish now on one of her
She
people.
kind of stupid. You said I did
No,
that. She kind of stupid.
not just no. She ain't stupid. She's raccoonish.
You
She's
you
one of
called that.
those people.
So you get that. I say she kind of. That's her name. She kind of stupid. She kind of
Yeah,
stupid.
no, she ain't stupid. She real raccoonish. That's not stupidity. What you're looking at is house Negro syndrome.
Mm.
That's what that is. That period point blank. But in reality, it was good that she wasn't there because the conversation would not have been as fruitful. It definitely wouldn't have been intelligent.
We
It
know
would have
that.
been it would have been loud, ignorant Negro stuff. And that poor lady, Dr. Sarah Webb, probably
Would
would
have
have
left
ran.
her. She would have left. She would have left.
That lady had too much class. I'm telling you, she wouldn't even been able to stand for all that. That lady was she was a real class act. You gotta watch it, Rashika. It's a good watch.
I'm going, and you know what? And I'm going to watch it. And this, I'm gonna go back to this because I find myself asking this question way too many times in a week. Then I say, "Hey, you feel it's so bad because I had to put it on my shirt that say I don't make the prices. Ain't that sad?
Yep.
You got people coming at my throat, threatening to kill me and my family
Oh God.
about 8 cents of tax. And I'm telling them, everywhere y'all go, y'all pay tax with no problem. Y'all come in the store and this, that. I say when y'all see the owner of this store, y'all pay him whatever and get the hell on. But when he not there, y'all want to come from me. And it's always people that look like me.
Well, because it goes back to part of what we were talking about in this conversation is a lot of that internalized anti-blackness, internalized self-hatred. And so what they see in you that makes them aggressive and violent is they see themselves. They're showing you how they view themselves. And that's not making no excuse for them. That's just calling a thing a thing.
No, you call the thing a thing. Like me and my husband was
Our
talking
people
about that
is sick.
because my husband, I had the phone like on the little sofa, on the sofa arm earlier. I was at the people job, then I got off, and then I was like, okay, let's catch this. And he was like, oh, I like her. He was listening. Like, let's call things these days. And I'm with that. Let's call a thing a damn thing.
Call it what it is. That way we can
Like
address it.
everybody just stop. Can we just stop pussyfooting around stuff?
Yeah, there you go. Because let me tell you, Until you name something, you can never address it. I can't address nothing that I don't name.
Exactly. That's just like a bitch can't. I'm sorry, I cuss.
Say what you gotta say, girl.
That's
You
just
on the
like the
Florida girl
postman can't
porch.
address. The postman can't drop no mail after you if your name ain't on the damn address. So, bitch, you
And
can't address
I go
me.
you one further. You ain't gonna never take a pressure pill if you don't ever name what your condition is. You
Right.
got to name what it is so you can address it. You got to be able to call it out. Else you're gonna end up taking a shot of insulin for high blood pressure. You're
I'm
gonna
trying
mess
to
around
tell you. I'm
and
trying to
mess up
tell you.
something
Like it's
because you
so.
refuse, because we simply refuse to call it what it is and
Yeah, we
acknowledge
pussyfoot around.
what it
We
is.
pussyfoot around calling a thing, and we'll let everything around us call us a thing
But you
and
know what?
call us out.
But hold on. But that still goes back to Black people being socialized to have respect and reverence and fear for
For
the oppressed.
everybody.
But hold on, for anybody who is in a position to oppress them. So, with that being said, even when something is wrong, they're socialized not to bluntly say so for fear of offending someone who
Right.
is oppressing them.
So
So
is that
this is more about socialization
that's
and
true?
being able, and that's why I said earlier, we have to change the way we socialize our children in our homes. We can't throw them out there in the street and be like, well, what's wrong with Black people? No, man, that stuff starts at home.
Yeah.
That starts in the house. I trained
Yeah.
my children. I didn't turn my children loose and just hope the world gonna treat them fair, because I know better. The world ain't treated me
You
fair,
know,
so I doubt
you
they gonna. So
absolutely know
I doubt
better.
in reality that they're gonna treat my babies any different. So I socialize them that you are not supposed to hesitate at all to call out any type of mistreatment. If somebody is harming you, offending you, you need to say it, because my daddy told me if you don't make people stop mistreating you, eventually they will kill you and tell the whole world that you enjoyed it.
That's
So
right.
you have to make people stop. You don't sit there and let them keep stepping on your toe, talking about, well, it's not that serious. I don't know why y'all talking
It
about.
is that
No,
serious.
you
And
stepped
that's
on
the
my
problem.
toe.
People have
Right.
this people have this
You have to say
stupid view
it,
of
and
that
you
is
have
not that
to
serious and it's
you
not
have to
that deep.
say it,
It's
and then
absolutely that serious. It's
but
absolutely
But
always
not
that
only
deep.
that, hold on, because I want to make a point. Not only is it that serious, it's that serious, and we have to set boundaries, and we have to get in the habit of not dismissing other Black folks' boundaries. If
Yep.
something is not a deal breaker for you, that, my darling, is your business. But I cannot, and nor do I stand in any position to tell any other Black person, or especially a Black woman, what does and does not offend her. If something offends you and you tell that person to stop, I have no right to say it's not that serious, because it clearly is that serious to you. And so if
Exactly.
those are your boundaries that you have set, my position as your sister is to uphold, hey, my sister said she don't like that. My sister asked you to stop doing that to her. And my sister said if you don't stop and respect her boundaries, that there are going to be consequences because you are offending her. But what
Exactly.
happens with our community, because we have so many people that are truly conquered people, they're conquered. Learn that word, y'all. Conquered.
They
They
are.
are so conquered that because it's not a deal breaker for them and they can accept tons and tons of abuse and offenses, that they will tell you that you don't have a right to your boundaries or to
You're
impose
right.
any consequences,
You're
because
absolutely
they don't have boundaries and they do not impose consequences. And
you're
so that
absolutely
is what
right.
we keep running into. That's why we have all these disgusting people who look like us on social media telling this beautiful Black woman, where you do kind of look like a monkey. When really what they're
Wait,
saying is,
what?
yeah, they were
Who
saying that
in the
about
first
Spice.
of
Hold on.
all?
Sheikah, you missed it. Girl, it was one of them in here we had to block because she thought she was going to come on my porch and do that. And you know you don't do that over here. But she did, and I had to block, and it's been a few of them. But when they're saying that, I wasn't angry, but I blocked her because I'm not going to entertain that type of ignorance. But the reality is, when you see Black people saying that kind of thing, they're telling you that when they look in the mirror, they don't see beauty. They don't see how regal they are. They don't
Yep.
see how unique they are. They do not see the divinity in their features. All they see is animal. All
Yep.
they see is less than. All
Yep.
they see is undesirable and
Yes, ma'am.
rejected and animalistic. So
Yes.
that's why they don't have a problem ascribing that to other Black folks.
I'm talking about, and real quick too, we'll throw it out like it's nothing. We'll
But I'm
throw it out
telling
like
you
it's
what
nothing.
time it is. Like we dealing with sick, folks socially sick.
We sitting up
That's
here.
what we're dealing with. So it's like we can talk about individual instances, but the issue is the socialization. It's not just the individual instances. The individual instances are the symptoms and not the sickness.
That's right. Now
The fever, the fever is the result of a virus. The fever is not your sickness, it's the virus
right.
that's causing the fever. And so that's where we keep missing the mark. Right there. We keep running around trying to treat the symptoms instead of trying to treat the virus.
That's true. That's true. You just said a word then.
You can take Tylenol all day, but at some point you're gonna need an antibiotic. That's all I'm saying.
You gonna need to understand why you're taking the Tylenol.
Yeah, you're gonna need to find out what's
why
causing
are you taking
that
this Tylenol?
so you can take the right antibiotic for that virus that's causing you to have that fever or that infection that's causing you to have that fever.
And my thing is
Whether you need an antifungal or antibacterial or antibiotic, you need to find out which one it is. Because if you keep taking that Tylenol, all you're gonna do is create a problem for yourself in the form of liver failure or what have you. And so that's what's happening technically within our community. We keep trying to treat the symptoms, and because we keep trying to treat the symptom without the sickness, we're actually causing more problems and bigger problems for ourselves.
You absolutely right. And my thing with the community is this: it's the selective outrage for me.
But the thing is, sis, it's
you
still
can't do
the same thing. The selective outrage that we witness are still based on the exact same issues.
And that's what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. This goes hand in hand to what you're saying. It's like y'all will allow somebody to disparage y'all, defame y'all, slander y'all, miss anything to y'all, and that's okay because they are approximate. They are next to what they want to be at, or where you think you're gonna be at, or where you feel like. When
it's about the oppressive class,
at the end of the day, if you don't stand for something, your ass gonna fall for anything.
We could say that, but like I say, conversations like what went on, I'm telling you, got to watch that conversation. These conversations need to happen. They need to happen more often. It does not need to happen once in a lifetime. These are conversations that need to be held on a national platform, like it was this time, on a regular basis. Because I'm telling you, a lot of the regular ignorance that we run into every day with our folks, because they're not able to understand what's happening. A lot of those things were brought up this evening, and they were addressed intelligently, and they were addressed in a way that they could not be dismissed and overshadowed with more ignorance. That's why I'm telling you, sis, you got to watch this conversation. You just got to.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it because there is no way.
Like, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna tell you that.
When we were first discussing it earlier, and I was listening live earlier, it was like you said, we all know it was performed of. You have to, like you said, about our dollars. You had to have this conversation because one thing about us now, and I mean us black women with our black dollars, we will boycott. We will take your ass down.
But the thing is, overall, in recent history, we have not been doing that. In recent history, we have not stayed on.
We've started to grab something. We have.
But hold on. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. The truth don't.
Oh yeah, we haven't back then,
and we have not. In recent history, I'm not talking about no back before. Recent history, we have not held the line. We have not done what we're supposed to do. Gucci absolutely offended black people, and then we had all them ladies on RHOA have a Gucci brunch as though they did not have that whole Sambo cartoon on their fashion.
Because they feel like, you know how they feel like once you get this, once they feel like they get a certain tax bracket,
but that's my whole point. That right there is my whole point. I don't care what you feeling. The bottom line is we have not been on code as a whole. Black women, we have not. Let's just tell the truth. H&M showed they behind. We did not stay on code. Waffle House showed they behind. We have not stayed on
Dennis.
code. Black people have not, and black women, I'm looking at us because we are the movement. We ain't never waited for black men to do a goddamn thing, because if we did, we would not exist. And so we have not been on code. Absolutely have not. Now, the only thing I can see that made a difference in the temperature was that hat went up. Now, I don't know what happened about that hat. Like, let me just say this. I'm somebody, I have been active within the conscious community for almost 30 years. Hell, right at 30, if not more. And if I had known all those years that all I had to do was throw a hat in the air, I'd have been throwing hats every Tuesday. I didn't even realize.
I'm about to throw a hat
I didn't
tomorrow.
realize, but this is what I'm saying. Because see, we're in different spots on this. Because I've been in the conscious community. I have been active. I am known. And I'm telling you that black people, our folks, have not been on code. Our people have been raggedy than a mango seed. We have sat idly by and allowed, and some of our people not only allowed, facilitated the abuse of other black people at the hands of your oppressors and their adjacent counterparts. But something happened when that hat went in the air, and I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody told the rest of us who been on the ground that all we needed was a hat. Because see, I've been around doing this thing, honey, since before the internet. Back when they were still. Hold on, because I'm telling the gospel truth. I don't mean no harm. I got to get it out. See, I've been around since before the internet in the conscious community, when we were still walking around the streets of Atlanta passing out flyers and whatnot and inviting people to come to think tanks and forums and whatnot. And I remember so many of our people saying, I don't want to hear that black stuff. Here they come with that pro-black stuff. And I'm sitting, and I remember thinking, you know, you mad because I'm pro-you? So see, our folks ain't been on code for a long time, sis. They haven't. So, you know, like to me, and I'm not discounting what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, ain't no point in us talking about, well, they keep doing this. They've been doing it. But what I'm hoping is that the little bit of change that I'm seeing, that hat did a lot back on Cinco de Negro. If we don't celebrate that day from here on out, we ought to be shame ourselves. We should slap ourselves.
Right.
Because something happened when that hat went in the air. Now, I don't know what happened with that hat.
That was like a universal bat. It was like a universal bat signal or something.
But it was that the hat went in the air, and then things
we was ready.
I don't know what happened, because all of us wasn't.
Me either. I want to know. I mean, it did something. I
don't
to
know
everybody.
what it was. That's why I said I don't know what it was. But you can just always tell when there are certain heralds. And I don't know if you know what I mean by that term, but there are certain heralds in the history of any people. And every now and then something will happen and it calls for something else. Yeah. And I feel like this was one of those times. And I told her, baby, she said, Mama, you think so? I'm telling you. I said, no, I feel that in my gut. Something happened. Something shifted. Something moved. Something happened. It was the response to it. Something went on. Something happened. And so I'm just, the only thing I'm hoping is that the small change that we're seeing is a lasting change, even if it's just small. Because we watch Dineva, Quentin the crackhead, insult Lil Chloe for no apparent reason. But that notwithstanding, because he's been trash. He didn't just become trash. He been trash. But what I noticed that was different was that sisters wasn't letting that slide this time. I said, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right. It was something about that damn hat.
Something about that hat. I don't know
what hat is. That hat is sanctified.
Yes, God. I don't know who blessed that hat. I don't know if he took it to a church.
That hat got dipped in holy water before it got tossed.
Something went on with that hat. It's always something small and seemingly insignificant that will herald a change. Yep. And I'm not trying to wax poetic, because y'all know I can get that way. I don't want to, but I can. But literally, it's always something small and seemingly insignificant that will become symbolic.
But you know what though?
Something powerful
in all times, and especially these times, something that seems small is so much more significant.
But this what I'm trying to tell you, sis.
That thing did. That hat did something.
No, let me prove it to you. That's not these times. It's always been that way.
That's what I said. Those times, these times, that hat did something.
Let me tell you something. I can prove it. Let me prove it to you. There was a boy by the name of David. Okay. And there was a king by the name of Saul. And David was the baby boy of his daddy. And he was raggedy and small and pitiful and wasn't nothing to look at. He had big scrapping brothers. And when everything came down to how to defeat the Philistines and a giant by the name of Goliath, it was a little scrawny boy with 5 little rocks and a slingshot that made the difference. It's always been that way. It's just like when you go back to that same good book where the rejected stone becomes the chief cornerstone. It's always something small and seemingly insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something that you just might overlook if you ain't too slick. That's the game changer. But
You're
I
right.
always try to pay attention to things both physically and spiritually because everything, everything has a spiritual and a physical connotation. And I'm sorry, our blackness has a spiritual and a physical connotation. And I'm just hoping that the little change that we're seeing is a lasting change. I'm praying that it's permanent because your blackness is not just physical. Your blackness is divine. Your blackness is metaphysical and it's powerful and it's connected to the creator. It's a whole lot deeper than a pretty complexion.
Mm-hmm.
And I really would like to believe that the change we're seeing is something that's lasting. That's all I'm hoping. But I ain't gonna hold y'all because I got to go. Okay. Nitra's got a man at home. So I
Good.
gotta go. So you got any final thoughts for these people before I get off this phone? Off this
I
thing.
mean, you just fucked me over now. I just think that you just basically said everything that we all as a collective need to hear, need to think about, conversations need to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't it didn't start with that, it doesn't end with that. This is an
Right.
ongoing thing about
That's right. Mm-hmm.
what it is to be this and you oh now you want to downplay it and this didn't happen. Child, it is what it is. One thing I can't stand about people is when you get caught in 4K, ain't that what the children say right now? Because I'm old, and I keep hearing that. So they say you get
Mm-hmm.
caught in 4K, stand in your shit, baby. Stand in it.
I ain't fooling with you.
Yeah, you gonna
I
fool with
love
me because I swear that's what the children say. You got caught in 4K or something like that. Basically, you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. That's
I
what we
know
gonna go back
exactly
to.
what you meant.
We gonna go back to that. We gonna go back to old school shit. Your hand got caught in the cookie jar, baby. You caught. And you basically said everything that what the conversation, like you said, this is a conversation that should be ongoing. It don't just, oh, this salacious thing happened or this salacious thing happened. Oh, now we're gonna talk. No, talk about it
Yeah.
because we
Just
everywhere.
wait till you watch it. Just wait till you watch it. You're gonna be
And
talking back to the
when
screen.
I watch it and next time you live, you know I'm gonna be, all
You
in.
you gonna tell
But
me everything about it.
I just hate it. I just hate it for I just hate it for Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
Um I hate it for her light skin, white bleach bones. Um, I I hate it for her jagged edge face. I gotta be the one you trust. Um, I just hate it for her because like all the chat kept saying was like she got too comfortable and she had these people
she had been
pumping her
doing it
up.
so long,
She been
and
doing it so long, and now since I can just say whatever on national TV, and thinking that nobody was gonna notice it and call her out. But baby, we like I said, we see you, ho. We see you.
I'm
I'm
so
talking
done.
about you. You said something about that's how I know you from Florida because you said something about regulars a mango seed. First of all, baby, let me get you together. That was funny, and also that's how you know she from Florida because that's what we
Yes,
say.
sir. Yes, sir, honey. 352 all day.
I'm talking about baby said regular is a mango seed. If y'all don't know what that means, have you ever seen a mango seed after a nigga done told a flesh off of it? That bit raggedy, okay? So
Rashida,
anything that
you
you
so
encounter
crazy.
raggedy as a mango seed, throw it away. throw it away, burn it, change your address, burn your fingertips off. You know,
Rashika, you crazy, man.
I'm out here talking to y'all. Listen, and see, this how y'all get in the mind of Florida people. I'm out here talking to y'all, chat. Y'all listen to chat. Come in real close. Get real close. Everybody real close. People are fighting. People are busting out windows. See, I got to get the hell away from here.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Call them. Call them for me and you. But also, y'all get in real close. Get in. Y'all came in close yet? I don't feel like y'all came in close.
They in, sis.
They in. So why is people busting out windows? Okay, anyway, they ragged as a mango seed. That's that Florida shit. And I knew
it. Oh, Lord.
We already knew she was ragged as a mango seed. I'm gonna tell you what else ragged as a mango seed. Her actual seed, her actual mango. Like, girl.
Oh, get up out of here, girl. Go on to
girl,
bed.
why them titties on first 48 like the nipples telling on the toes? Like,
tell my brother-in-law to take you to bed. Go to bed, Rashika.
Well, he right here.
Bro, take her to bed.
Right, hold on. What? Say that. She said to tell you to take me to bed. Tell her something. I can't tell her. Yeah, he said I can't tell her. See, he right here.
Oh, Lord. Listen, don't you be over there being rebellious against my brother-in-law. Don't do that.
You the one started and then talking about don't be rebellious. Listen, chat.
Hey, don't you be rebellious against my brother-in-law.
Listen, chat. Listen. You heard her talking about you tell her sister.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Listen, chat. Don't be ragged as a mango seed.
Get your tail off here. Go to bed, Sheikah. Go to bed. Look, y'all, we finna go. Don't y'all play with Sheikah no man. Bruh, take her to bed. We finna go. I gotta get up off here.
Talk about quickly. Bye, y'all. I love y'all, but don't be ragged as a mango seed. Like, for real, that's bad. We don't want that. We royal. We royal around here. We family. We can't be ragged as a mango seed. We gonna leave that to Erica Miller.
That's right. Leave that for her.
Leave that for her. Leave that for mullet. Leave that for mullet face.
Oh, Lord. You want to roast that girl so bad. We love you too, Sheikah. Good night, girl. Lord. All right. So, cuz gone. You know, y'all know Rashika be waiting and like her engine was revving. She wanted to roast Erica Mena so bad. Oh, I was trying to keep us from going there because you know she'll roast. Sheikah will roast. My sister on the phone and sent me a picture of a possum and called it Erica Mena. We not having no roast session tonight. This was just about the conversation. We will roast that heifer tomorrow or the next day. But for tonight, I appreciate all y'all coming here for this little quick combo. If you catch us on the replay, please still hit that like button. And you know what I'm finna tell you. If you didn't hit that bad boy on the way in, please make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure that you hit your notification bell and click all so you'll know every time we go live on this good porch. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we will be happy to have you. We talk about everybody's business, but we try to stay on code the best we can, okay? So look, please come. If this your first time, welcome. If it was your first time, please don't let it be last time. Please come again. Everybody is welcome. If you want to join channel membership, there's a join button beneath the video and a membership link in the description box. So now y'all get some rest. Good night, sweet dreams. Say your prayers, and remember, if nobody else says it, God loves you. I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Good night.